Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another QuarantineCast, the holiday spectacular. The QuarantineCast, of course, with Brian, Cody, and Craig. As you can see, it's just Brian and Cody tonight. Craig, unfortunately, under the weather, suffering a little. He claims a head cold for the Christmas season, and we wish him nothing but the best. You can hear him. I know tomorrow morning he is going to be on for Chad Benson, so he is resting up tonight so that his pipes and his head are cleared to deliver the finest broadcasting across 100 affiliates. Hi, Cody. How are you?
I'm fantastical, Brian. I'm ready for the Christmas holiday, for the holiday season. I'm ready to feel the burn, you know what I'm saying?
For those who are listening and not watching, Cody is wearing his very festive Feel the Burn holiday Christmas Socialists hooded sweatshirt from, it says, Vote for Bernie Sanders. And it is, it's lovely. It's a lovely, lovely sweatshirt. I don't know where one would get a sweatshirt such as that.
I don't either. I legitimately don't know where one would get a sweatshirt such as that because I got it from Brian Noonan several years ago. I think when Bernie ran for president in 1873.
I think that's true. I found it. I remember finding it somewhere, online on some. It came up as some ad. Like this is where Zuckerberg had targeted me, knowing that I had, maybe at one point I had mentioned Bernie's name. And so, he targeted it. And I thought, well, there's nobody more in need of that than Cody the G. So that was, but that was a long time ago when the Holiday Spectacular was a big in-studio production where there was music and there were people all over and, drinking in the studios, and now it is a socially distant, virtual holiday spectacular.
Not to be confused with socialist distant, which is different.
Socialist distant was
it's harder
socialist
to
stay distant.
It's harder to say than I thought. I'm doing this new thing where I drink before the quarantine cast.
Yeah. What are you having?
Last week I was actually distracted by thinking about what I was drinking, which is no bueno. So it's just I'll just have the beer before the show and then I can just hang out and, do my thing. I'm drinking should have gotten the can, a Maple Death from Revolution Brewing.
Ooh, one of their Cafe Death series, part of their Cafe Death series.
It's so good. I was going to make a noggin brandy, but I don't know. I'm not toasted, Mike. I'm just, I'm ripe. I'm slightly singed. Something else different about me. I don't know if you noticed.
You did get a haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, where did you go to get this? Listen, first of all, congratulations, I guess. You went out, you flaunted COVID, knowing that many of your family members and friends have had the COVID. You went to a salon, I'm guessing, or did you do it, or did you finally break down and get a Flowbee?
Is that what you're guessing? Or did I, without the assistance of any YouTube tutorials whatsoever, tell my wife exactly what to do and have her cut it?
Is that right?
That is damn right.
Wow. Did she use just a scissors? Do you have clippers? What did you use?
When I was at CVS getting my flu.
Getting toasted, as Mike says?
I got tested a month ago. I was negative.
No, toasted, not tested.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not toasted. No, what? We already went over that. Look, no, I was at CVS doing a thing, getting stuff that is needed because that happens sometimes. And
sure.
And I was CVS. Where was? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, in the little hair thing, they have barber scissors.
Yes, yeah.
Because she said she wouldn't cut my hair without barber scissors. I was like, just use this pair of regular scissors. And
no, you can't use regular scissors. You cannot use regular scissors. It would look.
No. And I was like, the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I have paid some attention to what my stylist does and how they comb my hair and wet it and stuff before they cut it forever. That was the same thing. They comb it this way and then they comb it to the side and then they start cutting here. So I was just like, I want to try and do this from memory. I don't want to look anything up. I don't want you to look anything up. And I thought about it.
Do it by memory.
Well, the nice thing was too, because I was because I'm not as smart as my wife about a lot of things. But in this particular instance, I didn't anticipate her jumping in and being like, well, no, you do it this way. Because she isn't a guy that gets guys' haircuts.
Right. And she is not a licensed, is beautician still a word? That's probably not it. Barber?
don't know.
Hair cutter.
But no, I just said, hey, look, this is what my stylist does. I combed it, and then I was like, pull this hair out, and then do that.
Yeah,
and
to
then
do your finger, right? You hold it with the fingers, and then you.
Yeah, and I mean, look, like it's.
Yeah, it looks like you went somewhere. That's very nice, and you got product in it today. Everybody, people are going to be very happy. Hello, Sally and Cindy and Mike and Sandy. Cosmetologist, is cosmetologist the right?
Sounds right.
I don't know. We'll see. Sandy likes the graphics. Yeah, we have special, again, thanks to Restream, we have special holiday graphics today. We've changed everything up a little bit, which is very exciting. Well, no, it looks good. I've got mine covered, thankfully, because things are going a little crazy up top, and I have not pulled the trigger to allow. I don't think Debbie would do it because she knows that I would, if things went awry, I would probably be upset because I know, I've watched, but I don't know where they do the, some is on an angle, some are, thank you, Scott. Merry Christmas to you as well. Yeah, I don't know. Because sometimes they've got the fingers on an angle and they're cutting down like this. And, so I mentioned earlier that the Holiday Spectacular is a little different this year. I am upholding one tradition. I have a nice glass of nog. Of course, the finest nog in all the land, the Oberweis eggnog.
Oberweis, yes. That is the best eggnog that there is.
With a, here's the thing. I went to my Jewel, the one that I normally go to, and they didn't carry it. And I was like, that's weird. I've gotten it at Jewel before if I haven't gotten it at the Oberweis store. So yesterday, on one of my many errands, because as everybody knows, this time of year, we're all running around like crazy people trying to get the last few things done. I thought, well, I have to drive right past an Oberweis store. That'll be great. I'll swing right in. I'll pick it up. It's going to be easy. Everything's easy when you're looking for eggnog, allegedly. So I walk in, and let me welcome someone to the Quarantine Cast who we will find the eggnog story hitting very close to home. You know her, you love her. You've heard about her for decades. She was part of a Holiday Spectacular for many years. Our own Molly Noonan, broadcasting from some unknown. Hello, welcome, Molly, to the Quarantine Cast. You're in your holiday plaids.
I'm wearing a matching pajama set, so I'm dressed up for this in the style of all things virtual. So as comfy as possible. I'm coming at you live from our kitchen because while we're willing to talk to each other on camera, we're not willing to do it in the same room. So, hello, Cody, hi, congrats. You made a very cute baby. I haven't seen you since, but you lucked out because they're not all that cute. But yours is the cutest.
Thank you, Molly. I appreciate that. Hi, and Merry Christmas to you as well. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished, which is just more and more every time your dad talks about you.
Thank you.
That's pretty rad. Did you get my Christmas card?
Well, I was going to echo what Molly just said. We got your Christmas card yesterday with you and the missus and the young offspring looking very festive. He appears to be about 6 feet tall already, which is amazing for a baby who's only a few months old. He is quite a strapping young baby. Yeah. Very attractive.
Yeah. I think so.
Can I commend you too? Because in one of those pictures, you look like you had been hit by a bus. The baby looked terrific, but you look like you had been awake for about 7 days and were on some sort of either gaming bender or just sleep deprived. But I appreciate you thinking of the baby first, and that he looked so good that you would add him to the add that picture to the Christmas card with no sense of vanity, which I know
I did kind of I was like. No one's gonna be looking at me anyway, right? Like they're gonna see the babe. Like he's in like 5 pictures. Like so our Christmas card is like 5 pictures of the baby. I'm in a couple. My wife.
It was kind of a bold move to even put yourself on the card.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good card. No offense, but
it's a great card. Yeah.
There's kind of one star of the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It was totally unnecessary, but I don't know. My wife. Well. Because like the one with him and the antlers is so cute with my wife holding him that she was like, well, we should have one with you too. And I was like, all right, we'll do a video game one. So there's a picture of me with a video game t-shirt that says player 1 playing a video game, and he's on my lap, and he just looks freaked out, looking off to the side like, what's going on? And he's wearing the same onesie matching this as player 2. I
don't know if babies need to be exposed to that kind of on-screen violence. Is Grand Theft Auto the best thing to be exposing your child to?
But on the plus side, if things go wrong after this and he's ever in some kind of like the parents messed up documentary, that photo will be great for the like cut to black and white Dateline opening. I think
they'll just put bars over your eyes, Cody.
Yeah.
I'll finally be a star. I can't wait.
Listen, if you got to use your kid to enhance your showbiz or your media platform, far be it from me to say not to do it. That would be ridiculous. So the reason Molly's here is tied into eggnog because, as I started to say yesterday, and we don't drink a lot of eggnog in the house. Would you say that's right, Molly?
I would say that that's right. It's because 1/3 of our family is repulsed by eggnog. That's me. Why is it a tradition? I don't understand. We don't have the time to go into it. I just don't think you should be drinking eggs unless you're doing like a Rocky video montage workout situation. But to those of you who like eggnog, I'm not here to ruin your Christmas. It's just like maybe in January we reevaluate. Try anything else and you will like it more.
Yeah. So Molly doesn't drink it. She is the 1/3 of the conglomerate that is not down with the nog, as the kids like to say. Mm-hmm. But I usually get one half gallon of Overweiss because, quite frankly, I can drink one glass of it at a time. Like I'm not going to splurge tonight and have 3 or 4 nogs. But anyway, I'm going, and I started to say I was driving right past Overweiss yesterday, and I think this is going to be perfect. I found a parking space right across the street, no traffic. I am able to run across Oak Park Avenue. Everything seems like it's going my way. Nobody is in the Overweiss. So the perfect socially distance. I have my festive mask on. I go in, and the young man behind the counter greets me very cheerily. Hi, how are you? And I'm like, thank you. I'm well. And I'm standing there looking at the coolers, and I see milk, and I see cream, and I see ice cream novelties. And then there's another cooler with opaque doors where they keep the milk so that the evil UV rays don't go in and taint the whole milk. I don't know what it does to the pasteurization process, but it must do something. And I must not have been the first person to stand there stupefied, staring at the coolers as if it was, the monolith in 2001, The Space Odyssey. And he says to me very nicely, "We're out of eggnog." And you know how well I take bad news. I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Oh, we're out of eggnog till tonight." And I was like, and this is like 4 PM. I'm thinking, how much later are they getting these late night bootleg eggnog deliveries at Overweiss? They got a truckload of masked guys coming in with the nog, and they slide it in the back. And he goes, "Well, I don't know what time tonight," but I said, "So you'll have it tomorrow?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll have it tomorrow." I'm like, "All right, thanks very much." And I start to leave, and then I think, well, I'm here. And I haven't had peppermint ice cream all season. So I'll get myself a scoop of peppermint ice cream to put a salve on the hurt that is the fact that I am leaving here without eggnog. So I sat in my car, bless you. I sat in my car like a lunatic on a freezing afternoon eating a scoop of peppermint ice cream. This is the first Molly's heard of this
Have
story.
you ever heard a sadder image than a grown man alone in his car in the midst of the Christmas season eating a frozen treat?
In a pandemic with sad Christmas music playing in the background. Could have been Dan Fogelberg's Same Old Lang Syne. I don't know. It doesn't really matter what the soundtrack is.
That song, what's that song about the Christmas shoes?
Yeah, Christmas shoes.
Like that's playing in the background. You're just crying into your ice cream.
Mm-hmm. Me, Dominic the donkey, enjoying a nice scoop of ice cream.
Would it be sadder if the dad was sitting alone in a car eating Taco Bell?
I think it's maybe like ice cream is third, Taco Bell is second, and then first would be like a grocery store pre-packed salad.
What if I had gas station sushi? I was in a parking lot on Christmas Eve staring at a picture of the family that left me that was sitting on my dashboard.
Then we would not be recording this because I don't know if we would have made it this far.
No, we definitely wouldn't have.
Whew.
So,
anyways, happy holidays, everybody. It's been a pleasure.
So we'll get to. I'm not going to keep Molly because she and Debbie have a date with a holiday movie that I'm so glad I'm going to be doing this while they're watching it. But I will say, so I go on about the rest of my errands.
Yeah, you can't. The movie we're watching is The Holiday, featuring Jack Black as a romantic lead. Now, is Jack Black the traditional romantic lead? He's not. He's not. But is it still a beautiful holiday film? It is. So, I mean, I recommend it.
All right. Well, and I'm holding out because, tomorrow night is Christmas Eve. And that means I finally get to watch my holiday classic, Bad Santa. After Debbie and Molly go to bed, I sit there. This could be sadder than the ice cream if you're really painting sad holiday portraits. Debbie and Molly go to bed. I sit in the glow of the Christmas tree with just the dogs and a cocktail, and I watch Bad Santa. Now, granted, I'm still in my own home, so that takes some of the sting away. But, my family will not join me. Christine wants to know where Walter is, Molly.
Oh, Walter's asleep on the couch right now. So, I mean, maybe he'll make an appearance later, but if he doesn't get his sleep, he's not the nicest. So we'll see.
People have been very excited to follow the trail of all. Well, the reason Molly's here, and I don't want to keep her too long. I did find the Oberweis at the Jewel because I ran on a circle of errands. Craig would love this story because he loves that I go to a million stores. But this one, I had plotted out going to this particular Jewel later in my trip after I was disappointed at Oberweis. I go to that Jewel. Holy cow. You would have thought they owned stock in Oberweis. They had so much eggnog there. Plus, hey, bonus for me, on sale, $1 off. Oh. So I got my Oberweis. I saved $1, which cut into the expenditure of the sad ice cream story. So really, I think I came out ahead. I got some ice cream. I found the Oberweis, and everything's in. Now, we have not always been that fortunate, Cody, as you will remember. I forget, it was a few years ago. We were doing the holiday spectacular. We were all at the station, and Molly was there. She had come down. It was going to be fun. You were still in college at the time. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So You were home for break, and we said to Molly, hey, can you run out and get us some eggnog? Which we thought was going to be a very simple task. And I asked Molly if she would come on today and share that memory. And it was, you were willing, but you were not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing. I'm semi-able in that had I known when this happened that it would be like a holiday tradition that we would all gather around fireside chat style and I would regale you all with this, like maybe I would have jotted something down. So please feel free to chime in if and when necessary. I mean, I don't really remember very much about this. I remember we were at the station. You guys, for whatever reason, felt like poisoning yourselves with eggnog. So I, being the least important person in the room, was sent on this intern task to go and get eggnog, which I thought would be easy. I've interned many times. I've carried stuff, not to brag. I'm very good at it. But I mean, I don't know if people are familiar with the geography of the Tribune Tower. I think my first stop was Walgreens. It's a huge Walgreens. Very excited to go there. Usually they've got a nice holiday setup. I sprinted. It was cold. I was in a hurry. I thought, this is a real opportunity to show off how fast I can do things.
Right.
Anyways, yeah, I ran over. I tried to get some eggnog. I said, excuse me, good sir, to whoever was working. I was trying to spread holiday cheer, so I spoke like an old-timey newsboy. And I said, can I have eggnog, please? And they said, what is eggnog? And I was like, this is not a situation I felt like I would be in today. This is not a conversation I felt I would have to have because I'm not in like an educational cartoon. And I said, eggnog is a holiday beverage. It's white. Usually it's in some kind of carton or glass vessel. And the guy was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, this is a classic holiday prank. Surely you know what eggnog is. But he didn't, and he went to go get someone else, and he was like, have you ever heard of eggnog? And that guy was also very unclear. So I ran around the store, went to all the levels. They had the brandy that I was also responsible for buying. Now, did they have a reasonably sized bottle? They did not, but I was in a rush. So I bought a very large bottle of brandy.
Always better to err on the side of hugeness when it comes to the liquor.
Yeah, well, I thought like the eggnog, it may not happen. So I guess this is the path that we're on. So I bought a large bottle of brandy, and then I was at a crossroads. Do I go back to the station with only the liquor? Do I buy the eggnog? Who's to say? But I was like, it's the holiday season, Molly. Do something nice. Go out of your way. Run around the city. Find the eggnog. It's Christmas. There must be somewhere. I found a Whole Foods on the old GPS. Ran to the Whole Foods. Fast as can be. Away to the window style, if we're going to keep things Christmassy. I got to the Whole Foods. I sprinted into the Whole Foods. What did I see? Some Horizon Organic eggnog in a carton. But was I a fool? A common fool who was going to return with the Horizon Organic eggnog? No, because Cody would have been like, oh, Molly, that was so fast. Thank you. And my dad probably would have been like, Horizon Organic? What am I, a toddler?
Wow.
It was going to be a whole thing. So I was like, Molly, focus. We're going to find good eggnog. I couldn't find any. I ran through all the aisles. I checked the holiday displays. I picked up some cookies because I thought, like, sometimes we don't get what we want. But then I found an employee. I said, excuse me, employee, please help me. I'm on a Christmas errand. And they said, what do you want? And I said, can I have some eggnog? And they said, eggnog? Sure, it's over here. And they walked me to the same cooler that I had just been to. This is a pet peeve of mine because there was no way for them to know, but I was like, you're slowing me down. I'm on a task. And I said, unfortunately, this is not good enough for me or the people that I'm going to serve it to. So do you have any Oberweis eggnog or whatever brand they carry at Whole Foods? I was like, you got anything good? And the instructions I received were insane. This I do remember. The guy said, you know what? I'm going to send somebody in the back. I think we have some in the back. I was like, oh, great. Then he said, here's what you got to do. I'm going to send somebody to the back. He stepped away for a moment. He did something on his radio, which I can only assume based on the next part of the story was sinister. He then came back. We have one in the back.
Wow, that's sinister.
Rejoice. Christmas has come. We have one in the back. Someone named, let's call him Steve. Someone named Steve is going to get it. Steve is our stock guy. I said, okay, this is a lot of information, but I'm happy about it. I'll be right here. He said, no. We're not restocking the shelves. So Steve will meet you out back or something weird. It was like it was definitely outside of the store or like in a weird hidden area, perhaps a parking garage. He was like, don't worry, we have one. He'll bring it to you. I was like, okay, whoa. I have questions about this. Every SVU episode I've ever watched has told me not to follow instructions like this. But it's Christmas. I will do as I'm told. However, I did not want to be murdered, so I went and stood in a weird corner of the Whole Foods, and I thought, Steve will find me. I know. I'm the only person here looking for eggnog. And then Steve came, I'm going to call it a soft 15 minutes later. Longer than you would think. And what was I presented with? But Horizon Organic eggnog.
Oh.
And I thought, I can't engage with Steve anymore. I've given all I can give. So anyways, yeah, I bought the eggnog that had already been available to me the entire time. I bought the cookies to sort of soften the blow. And I ran myself back to the studio. And I got the exact reaction I expected, which was that Cody was very happy. You had a lot of questions about why I didn't buy the good eggnog. And then when I regaled you all with this, another thing I do remember is that nobody believed me. Oh, Molly, it's the biggest Walgreens in the world. What do you mean someone didn't know about eggnog? What do you mean you had to buy this child's snack version? But such is life, I guess, to quote my grandma. And that's what we had. And by we, I mean you, because I would never put myself through that experience. So we had a lot of brandy. We had a very small thing of eggnog. And I guess now everybody gets to hear this story every year. So you're welcome.
Yeah. And it'll be like many of the stories I tell, which become more elaborate and entertaining as the years go on.
But those things are true because
yes, I remember you telling us about Steve trying to lure you into a cooler.
It was weird. It was weird for sure. But the weirdest part of all of that was the person asking me what eggnog was, because that's just like truly.
Yeah, it shows. Let me
also preface this by saying, if someone had just, I don't know, woken up from a coma, let's just moved from a land that did not have eggnog, those would all be very legitimate things. Was this the case here? No, I don't believe it to be the case. If I were to testify about it, I would say absolutely not.
I may be misremembering. I may be embellishing the story, but I thought you went also to like a 7-Eleven and they also didn't know what eggnog was.
Yeah, there were a couple stops.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think you're embellishing. If you are, like, I don't know, cut this part out in the revamping of this. Anyways, yeah, I did go somewhere else. They also didn't know what it was. Then I was like, this is a classic holiday prank. It's been shared on the radio. Everybody's in on it. But then
because
they also did know. I don't know.
The really weird part was that, like, this was when we were still at Tribune Tower.
Yeah.
Nat in here. This was when we were still at Tribune Tower. Like you said, the Walgreens literally in Wrigley Building. Right? It's just
huge.
Like, yes, very huge, multi-level.
Yeah.
Like 3 stories or something. And then and then you go to some 7-Eleven and it's nearby and it's like downtown Chicago, which, like, I don't know. I would never live in downtown Chicago. I think it's devoid of any culture or like neighbor, like it's awful. Like I house sat for my old boss who lived next door to NBC Tower. And it was like I was living in like a hotel, but worse. Like with like a hotel with none of the amenities, higher prices, more hostility from everyone you encounter, no sense of community whatsoever. Like, I judge people that live in Streeterville or Gold Coast. Like, you're living your life the wrong way. Like, it's just bad. So anyway, they pay a lot of money. So like, you would think that the 7-Eleven people would be like, well, all these people have all this money. We will give them the one drink that happens this year, but no.
Right.
Yeah. Had I my druthers, would I have chosen 7-Eleven as an eggnog spot? Probably no. I love 7-Eleven. I'm a big
doesn't?
Big fan.
Oh, thank heaven.
But I didn't think, they would have the eggnog. But for those reasons, minus the like unadulterated rage that you feel about the people that live in that area, I thought basically like there's a lot going on over here. People need stuff. People are having parties. Maybe they have a 7-Eleven version of the eggnog. But yeah, they didn't know what it was either. So I went all over town. This is the thing that always happens to me. People are like, here is a simple task. And I think, okay, got it.
Should be, yeah.
I went to college, and even if I didn't, that's a pretty simple task.
Yeah.
But then things fall apart and it takes very long. And then I come back. People are like, Molly, why? Why can't you do anything? And then I
didn't say that in front of Cody anyway.
But it's true, every word. And I hope that all those people have eggnog in stock this year. If you're on the hunt, I doubt that they will. And if you are on the hunt for eggnog, I would say just don't ask any questions.
Yeah. Just know where to look.
You're on your own.
It's in the dairy section for the uninitiated. Not you, Molly, but the other uninitiated.
When you asked, did you do the voice, like, please, sir, do you have any eggnog?
Tragically, no, because I was panicking. I was like, what does this mean? I don't love to talk to people, you know what I mean? I prefer to get in somewhere and exit that place as quickly as possible. So I was already like, here I am.
And people say, boy, is Molly anything like you? And I think that one sentence, and Maureen says it too, and she went to more than one store just like her dad. So when people say, is Molly just like you? I'll just let you listen to this audio and you can decide for yourself.
Anyways, the point is I put myself out there. I said, excuse me, please, please. And I thought like, I don't love a prank. And I thought this is a prank. I've stumbled into my worst nightmare. I'm now having to like crack a joke with this stranger in this Walgreens. And so there was just ice in my veins. So no, I used my own voice and I said, are you joking? Or can you help me? And then he said, Carl, we have a question over here. And somebody else ran over.
Can we cut to the chase, though? Molly buried the lead, Cody. She and Steve have been dating for 3 years.
Yeah, I went to the parking garage. I'm trying to read the cue card he's holding because he's still here, and it's spooky. It was sinister, but
yeah, that was weird. I wasn't for it at first, but the kid hangs around, and we do get a discount now on our organic eggnog. If I were to ever want to drink organic eggnog again.
Roger says he needs lactose-free eggnog, and I heard that there is it's not lactose-free, but I heard there's a vegan eggnog at Aldi right now that tastes like horchata. So
hold on.
There is an almond milk eggnog.
Okay.
It is a mistake. It is an affront to God.
An abomination?
It is bad. It is so bad.
I heard it tasted like horchata, and I was pretty into that, so I was going to go to Aldi, but I guess maybe not.
Well, but you hate eggnog, right?
Yeah.
Then why would you want something that tastes like eggnog?
Because it doesn't have the eggs. I don't like eggs. And for that reason, I don't like eggnog because it tastes like an antibiotic I once had to take where you had to eat crackers with it because it was so gross. Okay. So this is eliminating the egg piece of the eggnog. It's still giving me some kind of sweet. I'm trying to phrase this in a way where you can't be like, ha ha ha, listen to what she said. Some kind of sweet liquid. That wasn't good. Some kind of sweet
That's what she said.
Beverage, okay, without the eggs. So I was interested. Then what are you doing in the chat, Roger? You're telling us the answer to your problem. What are you doing?
That's because Molly. That's how Roger is. He likes to jump in.
I mean, we're talking about almond milk. It's like he's like, I already got it. It's in the fridge. Like, what do you?
Yeah, so he doesn't need it. He has it. He's like a lawyer who will only ask a question where he knows the answer. If there was a little Easter egg in the video portion of this, if you noticed that Debbie swung by the back of in the picture in her unicorn Christmas sweater and then laughed at Molly's retelling of Molly's sweet liquid. Molly's need for sweet liquid.
I don't like that I said that, and I wish things were different. It's going
to be a new T-shirt for the QuarantineCast. Molly needs sweet liquid.
Well, we're not in the studio, so I'm not going to pull audio for the out of context quote of the night. So you're safe.
Thank God. Mom, do you want to come over here?
No. Merry Christmas.
She says no. It's a resounding no.
Yeah, we heard there was no hesitancy, which I enjoy. She's very definitive in her desire not to come on. But we saw you. We saw you anyway, Debbie. So haha.
That's disturbing.
Disembodied voice.
I miss hanging out with all of you guys. We're gonna get so drunk after this whole thing's all blown over.
I was like, right now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can. Look. If I had some nog, I'd work on that. But no.
Molly, you've got a whole kitchen full of sweet liquids for you to enjoy.
According to someone in the chat, I'm already toasted. It was a Mike. I think it was Mike.
Yeah, it was Mike.
Mike
coming out throwing innuendos. We'll have Roger really wants to get involved. He's got the whiteboard. I'll get it from you, Roger. We will first of all, happy Hanukkah again, Roger. Merry Christmas. We're glad you're always jumping into the chats when you're not on with us. Yes, we will make arrangements to get the whiteboard. I'm glad you were able to steal that from the station. Hope it doesn't cost you your job. And by job, I mean position. And by position, I mean, I don't know, somebody who likes sweet liquids. Yeah, that's going to be a callback for the rest of the holiday season in our home.
I was distracted because someone was entering the room. I said, I'm going in the kitchen to do this thing. And then all of a sudden, people are just walking around.
Yeah, it's a lot of high traffic area. Why do you think I come up here to my sanctuary, to the Fortress of Solitude with my Charlie Brown tree and all my other Christmas decor? So, well, listen, I know you've got a movie to watch. Will you be enjoying a sweet liquid with the movie?
No, I'll never be drinking anything again. So soon I will wither and I will float away, and then everybody can just think about that. So I wanted to say something else, but it's the Christmas season.
As you leave, Molly, because people are always clamoring to know the inner workings of our dysfunctional home. What would you say is your favorite Christmas tradition that we will be taking part in over the next couple of days? I know tonight it was the airing of grievances, where we just stand around in a circle and scream at each other.
Yeah. Also, that's just because it's Wednesday, and that's
true.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Christmas Eve in general. For Cody, to you, here's some information. We used to go to these really fancy Christmas Eve dinners every year, and they were approximately 6 to 7 hours long. And I was not really into that sort of Christmas Eve. So now we have really chill, relaxed Christmas Eves. We watch a lot of Christmas movies. We get some good food and eat it here. And then we watch the animated Grinch, and my dad reads The Night Before Christmas. So it's a real Hallmark card kind of evening. But I really like Christmas Eve, and I like when you read the book. So.
Oh, very nice. Well, I'll make sure I read it again. And then the real
and
Christmas
Eve in the Bible, and then we read The Night Before Christmas.
Yes, we read it. I read a couple of scripture verses.
And then I mean,
right. Then The Night Before
the
Christmas.
secular book, if you will.
All right, because we know the reason for the season.
Sure.
Commercialism. We know exactly what that is for. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. And Molly is right. This was strange because when my aunt was alive, she wanted to take everybody out to dinner on Christmas Eve, because normally Christmas Day was either at my mom's house or one of my brother's homes or our house. So my aunt really liked taking everybody out. Well, the problem was we would go to Mass first. So that meant the reservation couldn't be till about 6:30 or 7. And then we would get to the restaurant, and they were always overbooked.
Yeah.
And it would take forever. And it was just so that by the time we got home on Christmas Eve, it was nearing midnight.
Yeah.
And so then I think one year after, after my aunt died, we did one more at a restaurant. And then a couple of us, a couple of my sisters-in-law actually said this too. They were like, hey, we're all going to see each other tomorrow. How about we just chill on Christmas Eve with our own families?
We sound so bad. We're like, we suffered. It was terrible. Then she finally died. Then everybody.
No. It wasn't that. It was just.
It
was just once the the tradition was there, and then it wasn't, and then it was like, okay, we're still all getting together, but everybody was running around. Some of us still had to wrap gifts. My brother Dennis is always very last minute, so he had a lot to do. And everybody was just kind of tense. And so this way we started our own traditions of Christmas Eve, and so.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot, of course, we always eat Cinnabons on Christmas morning. So I like to have my yearly, we get them twice a year, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so my Cinnabon is my number 2, probably.
That sounds so good. I want a Cinnabon.
Oh yeah. It's good.
We picked those up today. Those are in the house.
Cinnabon is now doing frosting by the pint. So if you want extra frosting, they only offer it in pint size, and you have to do that whole thing where you're like, I mean, I guess if that's the only option. Should we do it? It's like that John Mulaney, like, or if I get some fries for the table, will you? It's that, but with the pint. But anyways, the answer to your question, if you're wondering if you should get Cinnabon, is yes, you should. And you should enjoy your frosting pint.
Yeah, spring for the pint of frosting. Because when they brought it home at Thanksgiving, I was like, what are we going to do with a pint of frosting? Fast forward to like a week after Thanksgiving where that pint was empty. I don't know who ate all the frosting. I'm not pointing fingers at somebody who likes sweet liquid and sweet semi-solid.
I didn't eat any of that frosting because I have a tendency to get a little overexcited re the frosting. So my first cinnamon roll is like 80% frosting, 20% Cinnabon. And then after that, I learned my annual lesson. But anyways, they're only offering it in the pint now. So you can't even there's no shame when you order it. They told me that was the only option. I said, fine, gun to my head, give me the frosting.
Yeah.
Anyways, so those are my 2 favorites. But before I leave, why don't you both answer that question? Because I don't want to miss out.
Oh, wow.
On your favorite holiday tradition.
Cody, would you like to go first?
No,
go
ahead.
This is exciting because you're going to be starting this year, you are going to be creating all new traditions that will someday, when your son is elderly like Molly, he will be able to then say, oh yes, these are my favorite holiday traditions created by my parents.
Nah, we're not. I mean, because everything's all wonky and topsy-turvy and wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey this year, you know? So it's kind of
wow, this is like a Clockwork Orange Christmas.
Oh, man. That is... Dude, I just watched that like last month. Kubrick's worst movie by like a mile. So it's awful.
Terrifying.
Oh, dude, I've seen like all of those movies. Clockwork Orange, easily the worst. Still has some merits. But anyway, I digress. This year, so every year on Christmas Eve, we go to my aunt and uncle's. We've done this since I was born. That is not happening this year because everyone has COVID. And we don't want my whole extended family to die. So that's not happening, which is weird because I'm like very like elderly at this point based on your scale.
Yeah, geez. Cody's like got 1 foot in the grave. If I'm elderly, no offense. I hope your son has many Christmases with you, but
dude,
come on.
I've got like a foot in the grave and I can't even feel it because I'm diabetic. Dark. But I am diabetic.
You actually cut it off and threw it in the grave, and the rest of you was just hopping around outside going, whoa, why did I eat all that sugar?
Oh, that was the worst. No, but so that's weird. So I guess we might go to like my sister's or something tomorrow, but like that's also weird because it's not gonna be my whole family. Because my one brother is super paranoid about COVID. My other brother probably has it because he works like in he's a hero or whatever they're called. An essential worker.
Responder?
Yeah, and now he's ruining Christmas.
He works at a grocery store. So that, right? Like there are heroes, but like we still pay the minimum wage because like American government doesn't really care about people. They just like
that's right. Heroes just need the title.
Right.
They don't need any cash to back it up.
Right. So anyway, he's a hero or whatever. Like politicians are banning them, but not actually paying them accordingly. So so like it won't be my family. It'll be like maybe my parents and my sister. So like there's that, and then we've got a baby. We're not buying the baby any gifts. But so Christmas Eve this year, the one thing,
you're not buying the baby any gifts.
Well,
Santa's going to bring them.
Well, Santa brought them. We've got 15 gifts under the tree. Like we just every day, like for the last 2 weeks, we've gotten a package addressed to him for Christmas. So tomorrow,
wait.
Don't be jealous. Don't be a hater, Cody.
I have a question. This is, I mean, he's a baby, like he won't remember. But I have a really important question, which is, are you going to be a family where the gifts are out pre-Christmas Day? Because some people that I know came from families where the gifts were out. Like gifts from relatives would be under the tree, and then you would be waiting for Santa to come and give the rest of the gifts. My best friend now lives with someone, and their gifts have been out since they were wrapped. To me, this is like ludicrous. Number one, I don't have the patience to not peek at all those gifts. Number two, why would you put that temptation in front of someone? I don't understand. He's a baby, it's okay. But like, are you or are you not going to be those people? And if so, defend yourself, please.
No. At 3 months old, like the packages come like they're Amazon boxes. But we're gonna Christmas Eve morning, we're going to take cute videos of us like of us opening it with him.
Yeah.
And him just staring and laughing and drooling all over everything and not knowing what's going on and not paying attention and probably spitting up a bunch, and it'll be
he's gonna want to play with the paper.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, he won't he plays with his hands. Like he's like, this is my hand and I can control my fingers. That's the stage he's at, right? Like he'll just like stare and just be like and like just like opening and closing his palms for like hours. It's amazing. It's like there's barely going to be any acknowledgement, but we'll film some videos so that they're really cute, and we'll send them to the people that were kind enough to send us gifts. Which will be cute for everybody. And like,
that'll be great. Yeah.
As long as they get a video of a little 3-month-old baby being cute, they don't care what he's doing, right?
That's going viral. That's huge. TikTok it.
I'm not going to TikTok it. I don't
TikTok that baby.
I don't
TikTok that baby.
I don't put that baby on social media. I'm not about that.
Don't let your wife TikTok on the internet.
No, I don't do that. He's cute enough to go online, but I'm not about that life. But so we're going to do that. Molly, to answer your question, like, I don't know about next year, but certainly the year after, like the baby's Christmas presents show up on Christmas Day.
Okay.
That's just
I'm like truly just baffled by, people will like, let's say an Instagram story, a Snapchat. They will show their Christmas setup on like December 3rd and there's gifts under the tree. And it's like,
no.
Are you at a Macy's? Are those empty? Are those real gifts? Because if I was around those gifts, they would be open. They would be open and then they would be poorly retaped. And then I would have to do a whole play on Christmas morning of being like, oh, this well-worn box. I wonder what's inside. So anyways, good answer. Because otherwise, I mean, that's just like, that's bananas.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this, Cody, then as a follow-up, and Molly, you are welcome to stay, but whenever you need to go. But will in years to come, now this year it does not matter because young baby Gough is 3 months old, and it but it's nice. I think what you're doing is great because when we lived in California, sidebar, Molly would get gifts from the relatives, all from Debbie's side of the family, my side of the family, and we would open those on a different day, or Christmas Eve I think we did them. So Molly would open those on Christmas Eve, but the gifts from Santa and my gifts for Debbie and Debbie's for all of those didn't come out. Those came out after people were in bed on Christmas Eve. But will in the future, when a young Master Gough is aware of the Christmas traditions, will his gifts come from Santa, or will his gifts come from mom and dad, or will there be a combination? Because that was a discussion in this house for many years, whether the gifts would come from Santa and you would receive as the parents no credit for them, which I was fine with, or would gifts have to be some from Santa, but some from mom and dad so you can get the appropriate thanks?
We'll do I plan on, I haven't discussed this with my wife, but we're going to do whatever I say. So
yeah, because you're the man, and that's how it goes.
We're just, what my parents did was they would do 1 or 2 gifts from mom and dad and the rest for Santa.
Oh, really?
So we'll do that,
See, we never got gifts. It was just Santa.
I saw something interesting. I'll interject.
Which may explain why my brothers and I are very, very ungrateful.
I saw an interesting thing somewhere that said basically like if you're giving, when baby Gough is like tween Gough, if you're giving him some kind of really expensive gift like a computer or an iPad or something, that those gifts should be from mom and dad and other gifts should be from Santa, because the reasoning is if your kid goes to school and a kid whose family couldn't afford those types of gifts comes to school and they're like, Santa got me an iPad, and the other kid's like, Santa got me a board game, then it's a whole thing of like, well, maybe I wasn't as good as like rich kid Jones because he must have been better than me because he got an iPad and I got this board game, etc., etc. So it's not something to think about, something to mull over.
Mull that over. Allison says you need to be a regular on the program, Molly.
Oh, thanks, Allison.
So
she also said that Santa's gifts were unwrapped. So, like, can we trust her? Because why would Santa not wrap the gifts is my question.
Good question. Cody's mom, always listening, always viewing. They had to make a reservation for Mass, and your dad's making her an eggnog right now. Because we'll share your recipe. Your recipe is much more, not much more, but more elaborate than mine, which is pour brandy into a glass and pour eggnog. And why did they make a reservation?
You didn't answer the question, sir.
Oh, me?
You were both supposed to say your own holiday traditions, and Cody was like, COVID is taking over.
Yeah. So, my favorite holiday tradition growing up was I got a video game every year for Christmas, and I would play it for like 8 hours on Christmas Day. And that was my favorite thing. That stopped a number of years ago. In years since, it's more been the day after Christmas. I have always like I would go home. Let's say my wife and I went to my parents for Christmas. She would be like, okay, well, we can go back to Chicago the day after Christmas, right? And then, be home. And I'd be like, no, I don't want to do anything the day after Christmas. The day after Christmas is sacred, and it is reserved for doing absolutely nothing.
You guys are the same about the day after Christmas.
Yeah, no driving, nothing. Weird this year, I was like, we should drive back the day after Christmas. And I think that what that means is that I love my house and my family that I have here now, and things.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. Welcome to that chapter of your life. While your parents and siblings, and that is still an important part. You have now created your own unit.
Yeah.
You are, to your son, you and Mrs. Gough are the family. And then there's grandma and grandpa and aunts and uncles and all that, but you're the family.
Yeah.
So welcome to that.
I really can't answer the question, Molly, because like I just changed this year because I'm a dad and I have a house now, and it's just weird. So I don't know what it will be, but I imagine it will have something. It will, whatever my favorite tradition will be, it'll have something to do with not doing anything, whether it's binge watching. Like the year after I stopped getting video games, I got Back to the Future on DVD and I watched the whole trilogy with DVD commentary on Christmas Day. So like just binge watching something or just like slovenly doing whatever like that. That's it. Like I'm just going to, on Christmas Day or the day after, taking like just 14 hours of like, I refuse to do anything that doesn't involve video games or like a screen or whatever. And just, I'm over it. So
yeah.
That's
okay. Well, I'll relent the formal question. And I get it. I mean, my favorite tradition was doing nothing on Christmas Eve. So same.
There you go.
And I'll answer the question, but first Allison is coming to her own defense.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
and Allison has been backed up by a number of people. Allison said that mostly her mom didn't want to explain why there was the same wrapping paper if things got mixed up, which is a valid concern. You want to make sure that Santa's paper has not been, grandma's present didn't get wrapped. Hey, how did Santa get that same paper? That's weird.
I'm sorry, Allison. That's my formal apology to you. I never.
And Sally also said I
wouldn't know.
Sally said her gifts were never wrapped. Santa didn't have time to do that. Roger, of course, said takes too much time to wrap presents. Elves were too busy, and wrapping paper would tear coming down the chimney.
Okay, that makes sense.
Roger has elaborate excuses.
Well, you know what? I didn't get gifts from my parents, okay? Allison and Sally and Roger. So congrats to you and yours.
That your parents loved you and they gave you presents.
Loved you. Happy Christmas.
Molly's parents did not love her. Only Santa would bring her gifts. And, so that just means that she has had to keep believing or she would not be receiving. Because there is, the old man ain't springing for anything, from QuarantineCast money rolling in. So that's not happening. All right, quick, to answer your question, Molly, as a kid, I always really enjoyed, and this, again, these will explain a lot. My answers will explain a lot. I always loved sitting in my parents' living room by myself, just looking at the tree. I love when the tree is the only light in the room. And that's why most of the time here, when the tree is on, there's no other lights on or something very dim. I loved doing that. And like Cody, and this is no secret to Molly, the day after Christmas as a kid was my favorite day. And I would look forward to, obviously I look forward to Christmas and Santa coming but everything was in turmoil that day. And so the day after Christmas was the best, just the best day. And then as I got older, getting things ready, I hated the actual act of assembling Christmas, but the feeling of satisfaction when it was done and looking at it has always been something I really loved. And I love having the stuff up and helping Santa over the years, because that was my, that was my responsibility. Cody, as the man of the house, you got to stay up and protect the house and make sure that no intruders, unless you want.
15 minutes ago, you were like, yeah, I can't wait till Christmas Eve when I can black out and watch Bad Santa alone.
I didn't say black out. I didn't say, hey, listen, no matter what I did, Santa always came, didn't he?
Yes, that's true. Santa actually spent a lot of time at our house because I used to get handwritten letters from Santa thanking me for the cookies and just for my general, just the light I bring to the world, I guess is the best way to sum it up. Santa was really impressed. So I got handwritten letters from Santa every year. And the reindeer always really loved their snacks as well. So Santa and the crew sent a lot of.
There were always chewed up carrots in the backyard, which was weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So those are the things that I still enjoy, and I like reading the night before Christmas. Last year I didn't think Molly was going to ask, so I was caught off guard because it was getting real late, and we had watched a bunch of movies, and I think it was getting close to midnight, and everybody had fallen asleep, including the man who was waiting for them to go upstairs so he could watch Bad Santa.
I really like that to be the very last thing.
Yes.
I get a little weird about traditions in that, like, I don't like any slight change. And that is one thing where I like, it has to be basically the last thing I can do while I'm conscious, or it's not happening.
You know, the closest thing for me with that is like going to Christmas mass. So I'm kind of a creaster. Like I'm not a great Catholic. I go to church on Christmas and Easter and, occasionally other times, but not.
I think you're a great Catholic. You don't molest any altar boys. I think you're perfect.
There's that. Well, my plan was, once I bought a house and moved to the suburbs, I was like, I will find a parish because I want to be part of a parish community. But I moved during COVID. So like, we don't have plans, but I want to get my kid baptized, but like,
sure.
We haven't put that on the books yet because like COVID, right? So everything's all weird. But before that, even when I went to Christmas, my first Christmas with my now wife's family, like they didn't like church. There wasn't a necessity for them. And I was like, we have to find a mass. And we went to like a midnight mass, and I had her like dad bring us, and we like went to a midnight mass. So clearly it's like ingrained. So this year's weird. My mom said in the chat earlier, like she had to enter a lottery to get to mass. And when she and my dad called, I talked to him a couple of days ago. I was like, "Are there any extra spots?" And they're like, "No, it's just the two of us can go."
Well, you can watch midnight mass on Channel 7.
Obviously, yeah, but it's like it's going to be weird. It's going to feel really weird. So, but I understand where you're coming from, because to me, like, it's not really going to be Christmas, quite without that, the Christ part of Christmas,
right? Which
is kind of important, relevant to the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have a big nativity scene in the yard, and we listen to all that, and but yeah, I mean, it used to be, but I don't know if Molly, you might have been too young to remember. In California, when we would go to mass on Christmas Eve, and we went all the time, but Christmas, you got everybody coming. We were standing outside. I think, was it Christmas or Easter that I almost got in a fight in the back of church because some guy sat on a table and knocked you down. And, I've always been I'm a stable genius. So I'm not afraid of fighting in the back of church. Jesus fought the moneylenders. Why can't I throw a punch?
Sure. I'm not really a big church person, so I feel like you can fight anywhere you want to.
Roger said Christmas is in your heart.
That's really nice, Roger. I thought really nice.
Roger just read that out of a book. He was watching The Grinch, and so.
Oh, well, okay.
I don't know if
it's still nice. He took the.
No, I'm sure Roger believes that.
So, that's really nice.
It is very nice. So the Cinnabons are in the house. The eggnog is here.
Yes.
Everything. Now we did change your tradition a little. We didn't get Chinese food. We're not having Chinese food tomorrow.
That's okay. My big thing about Christmas Eve is I want it to be takeout food of some kind. We're getting like nicer takeout, but it is still being taken out of a restaurant and can be presented to me in some kind of packaging if I so choose. So I like it to be, I like just the phenomenon of takeout on Christmas Eve. I did like Chinese, but we're doing Italian this year. That's okay.
Yeah. And then I'm cooking at Christmas.
I can relate to that because my favorite New Year's Day tradition for years after a house party was making the McDonald's breakfast run.
Yeah.
No matter how many people were left over at the house, I would just wake up, I would buy like 30 Egg McMuffins or whatever, bring it back. Let's all go. BT Dubs did not get the memo on this until like a week ago, even though it's been happening for 6 months. McDonald's no longer doing all day breakfast anywhere.
Oh,
McDonald's no longer does all day breakfast. It was a COVID thing because it increases their efficiency like 90% or something.
Because now everybody's in the drive-thru and they can't have you sitting there 8 hours waiting for an egg.
I am incensed about this. I had to go out twice in the last couple of days at like 11:30 to do things. And I pull up and I was like, all day breakfast? No. I can get a McCafe, but like, do I want a coffee with my double quarter pounder with cheese, no pickles or onions? No, that's disgusting.
I don't know, Mr. High maintenance order. But I know, I understand your pain, Cody, and Molly will attest to this. Christmas was almost ruined because one of my Christmas traditions
is currently
the candy cane pie from Baker's Square. You've heard me mention this before. This is not a secret. Every year on Christmas, and I've told the story that I said to Molly, when I'm old and I'm in a facility because I've lost all mental capacity, all I need is for her to bring me a piece. She doesn't have to pay attention to me all year. All she has to do is bring me one piece of candy cane pie on Christmas, and I'll say, who is that nice young woman who brought me candy cane pie? Because of COVID, Baker's Square has discontinued their feature pie series, including candy cane pie. There will be no candy cane pie for Daddy.
This is a real corporate decision. How do you know, Molly? Because I individually called you don't know this. I individually called every Illinois location, not just the Chicagoland area. Okay. Every location in the state of Illinois got a call that was like, hello, I'm here to order the candy cane pie. Could you make me one? And they were like, no, go on the website. Anyways, it's true. Not a single location. I thought maybe there would be like one.
No, there's a big banner on the because I looked yesterday. Big banner on the Baker's Square homepage due to COVID-19, and they make a point of singling out the candy cane pie because it's only available Christmas time, and it was gone. And so we have, now for Christmas night we have I'm sure it's going to be delicious. An ice cream cake from Cold Stone Creamery. It's going to be it looks very festive with Merry Christmas on it. It looks very nice, but
I understand the tradition part, but Cold Stone, dude.
I know you like Cold Stone.
I worked part-time at the first Cold Stone Creamery to open in the state of Iowa at the Jordan Creek Town Center in West Des Moines. I worked there opening day.
Could you have gotten us a discount?
What's that?
Could you have gotten us a discount?
No.
Continue your story then.
That was it. It was I looked forward to my free creation at the end of every shift more than I look forward to the paycheck. The paycheck was a footnote. I was a broke college kid. I literally didn't care. I was like, get me like the brownie delight, whatever, chocolate ice cream with like brownie bites and like fudge. Dude, just forget about it. Cold Stone for life. They're so good.
Well, that's because last year we were going to my brother's for Christmas, and we bought a big ice cream cake from Cold Stone to bring as a dessert, and everybody loved it. And so Molly had said, hey, because to be honest, I had said this year I'll just get a slice or two of the candy cane pie because I'm really the only one who loves it. So I was going to do that. And Molly had suggested, well, why don't we do what we did when we went to Uncle Michael's last year and get a cake from Cold Stone. And so we did. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great. I'm not poo-pooing the choice. I'm saying that, one of my, just another in the long line of holiday disappointments has been added. And that's, par for the course. Welcome to 2020. COVID sucked.
Hashtag 2020.
Hashtag 2020. Hashtag where's my pie. Hashtag suck it, Santa. Hashtag COVID blows. All the hashtags. I don't know why I threw Santa under the bus. He didn't really have anything to do with it. He's doing his best. Roger said they've closed a lot of Baker Square outlets. That's true. We're getting something from Bang Bang Pies. Well, aren't you fancy, Roger? Bang Bang. I hear nothing but wonderful things about Bang Bang Pie. One time I had a piece of it at the station back in the day. Bang Bang Pies sell out. For Christmas, they probably sold out the 4th of July because the last few years I've tried to get a Thanksgiving pie from Bang Bang Pie and I order it, I don't know, say the first week of November. Sorry, we're all sold out. They do a gangbuster business over there.
We'll get one next year because now that I have this, I have a little bit of a, let's call it a sickness in terms of I like a limited product. Regardless of what the product is, I like a challenge. So now that I know that they sell out so early, I'll get one. I'll get one.
Get a Bang Bang Pie. That's bang, bang, fantastic.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for answering my questions.
Thank you for joining us. I know that you have hesitated in the past, but I cajoled you into joining tonight. And we're obviously, you see, people are very excited to hear from you. You have, whether you've been on or not, you have been part of the show for the entire run of the show. So,
Well, thanks. Thanks, everyone. I was reading the comments, so I got a little distracted. Someone is making funnel cakes, which is a fun carnival treat for Christmas. Tragically, I must leave. I have to go feel sort of conflicted about my possible feelings of attraction to Jack Black. Never thought we would experience it. Everybody go watch The Holiday. He's pretty cute in it. I'm not going to lie. Is it like, could he be a Marvel character? No, but it's a nice holiday classic. We got Cameron Diaz. We got that other lady, and it's going to be a nice one. Kate Winslet.
Well, and now the thing is, now Molly has stayed on with us for so long that it's only going to be half over when I go downstairs.
Yes, you get to watch the end.
I get to watch the end.
Most beautiful part.
Oh, I can't wait to see the end of this. I'll have to probably grab some sort of beverage to help me get through it. But thank you for joining us. People wishing you a Merry Christmas. Roger, Christine, people all saying Merry Christmas to you. And I guess I'll say that to you Friday.
Yeah, we'll see what we see.
I'll say it to you now. Merry Christmas, Molly. It's good seeing you again.
Merry Christmas, Cody. Merry Christmas to, I don't know if we say her name, so I guess like Mrs. Baby Gough's mom. Merry Christmas to her. And to Baby Gough as well. Again, nice job. Got a cute one. Dad, nice. I'll see you for the end of the holiday. Everyone else, Merry Christmas, etc., etc. See you soon.
Bye, Molly. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Bye. Leave.
I'm gonna take you off the screen, and then you just log out.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
All right, she's gone. There you go. So there was Molly. I had to cajole her a little bit. She was like, I didn't, and she said this when she was telling the story. She goes, I didn't think this was going to be like a yearly thing where I had to tell this story again and again, or I would have paid more attention. You know, I don't know where she gets her ability to spin a yarn though.
No, dude. Are you kidding? She's her father's daughter. So literally everything you just said could be a true. You would do the same thing.
I know.
You would do exactly this. You would respond the exact same way. If I was like, "Oh, hey, can you do that thing again?" You'd be like, "No, I didn't prep. I wasn't ready. I didn't do 4 hours of preparation for a 1 hour show." Like that's great.
Listen, that's how you got to do it. You got to be prepared. I look at my whole life as preparation. I know this year is weird, but I think you will find that now that you guys are your own family unit with the baby, and I mean, Molly was only 4 months old her first Christmas, so obviously she doesn't remember. You know, there were some pictures and stuff, so it's just like your son's first Christmas. You know, not gonna remember. Now next year, he'll be a little more aware of it, and I think as you guys start building that's the fun part of being your own unit, is that you start building your own little traditions, apart from other people. You're still part of the bigger family traditions, but you can have your own little things. And it was really hammered into us when we moved to California, because then it was like, okay, we have to have our own traditions now. And that's when we started, you know, the very first, because we got there on Halloween. I got there on Halloween. Debbie and Molly got there a couple days later. The first Christmas Eve, we ate dinner outside. We went to church. Molly was only 3, I think. And so she fell asleep. So we get to the restaurant. We're eating outside. It was COVID before COVID was cool. It was an outdoor area, covered patio with the heaters, even though you didn't really need the heaters because it was about 60. And we're eating dinner outside, just the 3 of us. And I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. You know, everybody at home is freezing and it's this and that. It was so great. And then we started just our little things on, you know, for Christmas and Thanksgiving. And, you know, then we came home and we melded those again back with the bigger family unit. But it'll be very nice for you. I think you will enjoy it.
Yeah, maybe we'll drive through somewhere on the way to Rockford or something, or, you know, I think, you know, doing the opening baby presents will be fun. It's hard for me to think about it, even establishing anything, because I'm just so like last minute with everything. Like I've had the week off from work because I took it off, and I could have wrapped presents, but I wanted to just do them all at once. You know, I had presents still trickling in from various delivery services today. So then, you know, stuff got here, and I was like, I'll do all my wrapping. 3.5 hours of wrapping.
Oh God.
3.5 hours. I'm a very giving dude, apparently. So
yeah, you are generous as hell. No, but that's hold on. Everybody was asking. Molly's bringing Walter in for an appearance. He woke up, so there for the people who are asking, where's Walter? There's Walter. Hello, Walter.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello.
That is a cute.
You are very pesky, but you know you're my friend.
Okay.
You know you're my friend.
He's been our prop for the evening. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. He goes, but he's a Chewini.
My mom was asking me, she's like, you know, is baby Gough going to make an appearance on the holiday quarantine cast? Dude, he fell asleep like almost 2 hours before we started.
Oh, wow.
He goes to bed really early.
Well, then he'll probably, so then does that translate into him getting up early, or is he still sleeping?
Oh, no, he was up at 4:30 this morning, and so was I. It depends. No, he'll sleep till 6 or 7, but the last like few days he's just shot wide awake at like 4:30.
He knows Santa's coming. He's ready.
I think
he knows.
So,
that's the other. Yeah, you got to get ready for that too in the coming years.
Well, we're at the 4-month sleep regression phase.
Oh, what does that mean?
Heard of this?
I have not heard of this.
Apparently, this is like very standard between 3 and 4 months of age. A baby, like, you know, they get in their sleep patterns. Ours was somewhat predictable for, you know, month 2, month 3. And then all of a sudden, and this is extraordinarily common. I think it's even like pretty much expected. All of a sudden between 3 and 4 months, it's just like, nope, all bets are off. Did he used to sleep through the night? Well, all of a sudden, maybe he'll wake up 8 times, or he'll wake up and be wide awake after 2 hours, or and it's all out the window. So it hasn't been bad for us. Like he still pretty much goes to bed, eats like 6 hours later, eats another 4 hours. Like it's not a big deal, but his wake up time is very early now. So I've been up since 4.
All right, I'm not gonna complain about being tired.
No. No, I told Casey, I was just like, yeah, I gotta have an adult beverage and then try and do a quarantine cast. And then Craig dropped out. So
and he was supposed to run the thing tonight. Cause remember last week he was, oh man, he doesn't like the loosey goosey, that Craig. He wants a little more structure. So I assume after the first of the year, when we come back, he's going to be dropping the hammer. Trying to keep us in line. Good luck to him with that. You were talking about wrapping the gifts and gifts. I'm gonna be short one gift. One gift has not arrived. It was supposed to arrive at the end of last week. Then it was supposed to arrive Monday. Now it's in transit. Will arrive late. I'm like, oh no, not in transit. Will arrive late. Oh no. Thankfully, I mean, there's plenty. There's plenty for Debbie. But this was one thing, and I'm like, oh no. But I can't. This year I can't get mad because, you know, the post office is like anybody else. Well, first they were decimated by our supreme leader and his minions who decided they were going to try to dismantle the post office before the election. But then they are like any other company where people are getting sick and can't come to work. So it'll arrive when it arrives. You know, this will stretch Christmas out a little bit. But I wrapped everything over the last few days because I used to wait and wrap them Christmas Eve, and that was awful. You know, we would get home late from this dinner with my aunt. Then we'd have to wait, and I'd get Molly to bed, and then I'd go down and I'd, help Santa, and I'd do my own stuff that I had to wrap for. And it was so Christmas Eve was a nightmare. And then a few years ago, I vowed I would always have stuff wrapped prior to Christmas Eve so that at least I didn't have to worry about that it was just pardon me. It was just one less thing to worry about, so that I could enjoy a little Christmas Eve fun myself. Cindy said Craig didn't come tonight because he had to Kool-Aid his hair. Oh, that could be too. And somebody, I didn't ask Molly this because I don't think she knew the story, but somebody asked if Molly had thrown away any cookies. Marta wanted to know if Molly threw away any cookies so that I could eat cookies out of the garbage again. Marta, why do you bring that up? That is such it's just harsh.
I won't throw away your Christmas gift before I give it to you. I have had your gift for like 3 days, and I should have texted you and been like, Brian, you should pop by because I got a thing. But
I'm not gonna come over and go, give me a present. That's you know me. You know me better than that. I still haven't heard. I was gonna swing down and pick up the gifts that we got from the station, but I thought they'd maybe send out an email. Hey, your stuff is here. But that email hasn't come, and I'm not going to email them and go, hey, got something for me?
I will.
But yesterday I was in the area, so I would have swung by yesterday. But then I would have had to see people, and it would have been difficult. But yeah, so I'm waiting to see. I don't even know if that thing is ever going to come. So we will see. But yeah, so that the one isn't coming, the rest are wrapped. Everything's done. Here's the conundrum. Now you said you guys are thinking of, you haven't decided yet if you're going up to your mom and dad's on Christmas Day?
No, we're gonna see them. We're gonna see them on Christmas because I mean it's low risk. They've had COVID.
Right.
Low likelihood of and like I've mentioned, I think our pediatrician has zero concern about our son getting it whatsoever, being whatever.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, had it could be a different story, but
it's hard, and my mom had decided, I think I might have told you, she decided she was going to go to everybody's house. She was going to round robin it on Christmas Eve, because we're not going to my brother's on Christmas Day. We're not. One, he is just getting back from Mexico, so there's a good chance I'm not going to hang out over there. And my mom said she didn't want to do that either. So my mom had said, well, I'm going to go, since there's 3 of us in the area, she's going to go to everybody's house. Cause she wants to see Molly open her gifts. Mm-hmm. And I've heard legend that there's something for me. And she wants to see the girls, and we'd like to see her open her presents too. Right. And we can't do it like this because my mom does FaceTime, but only on her phone, and she's holding it. And so, to do something like this would be difficult. And Zoom proved problematic early in the pandemic. But she also she's getting very antsy and very depressed about being at home all this time. And especially now, some of her friends have started to try to shame her, that she's living in fear and she's being too careful. And, they can't believe their kids are doing that too. They're not getting together for Christmas because everybody's living in fear, blah, 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 blah. So my mom doesn't want to live in fear. And I was like, Mom, you're not living in fear. You're being reasonable, Well, the people I know who got it have all gotten better. I'm like, yeah, that's, good. That's great. But not everybody does, 300,000 have not. So after this diatribe, we were over there doing something on Sunday real quick. And we've been trying to figure out what to do about tomorrow tomorrow. So I finally was like, you know what? We all wore masks when we were in her house. She's going to come over. She wants to, so come over. We'll wear masks. She's not going to be here super long. And all I kept thinking was, and this is horrible, but all I kept thinking was, what if, God forbid, this was the last Christmas, And I said, you can't come in my house. We'll all be careful. And like I said, we're not going to, I have to be at a bakery at 7:00 tomorrow morning. I don't have to. I chose to. Mm-hmm. Because she knows our tradition for Cinnabons, but She also knows that occasionally I will go to Weber's Bakery and get chocolate donuts. The best chocolate donut in the city. Fight me. I don't care. I will win. They are the best cake chocolate donuts in the city. And I'll get them everyone, like for Mother's Day, I'll go get some for Debbie. And, maybe a couple times a year, we'll go get Weber's. And my mom was like, oh, I know you get Cinnabon. I love my mom because she comes at it kind of backdoor. She got to backdoors the request. She won't come right out and go, hey, will you go get me some Weber's donuts for Christmas? That would be terrific. Oh, I know you guys get the Cinnabon for Christmas, but do you go on Christmas Eve and get Weber's donuts? No, I don't. I said, why, Ma? Do you want some Weber's donuts? No. Not if no, that's okay. They're just so good. And I haven't had them in so long. They're just so good. I'm like, do you want me to get you some? No, that's okay. Never mind. You're not going there. Okay. So last week I get on it. I ordered them because I learned on Mother's Day. Mother's Day, I got there at 5:30 a.m. I got to Weber's. I stood in a 3-block line, not realizing that you could order stuff in advance for curbside pickup. So I have my dozen chocolate donuts all set, ordered for 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, curbside pickup. I swing into the parking lot in my jammies. I go, I'm out here, bring me the donuts. Bring me out the donuts, and then I'll come home. And then, we're the first stop, which makes it an easier decision to say, yes, let's follow through with your plan. Because then she's going to my brother's house. We went over to drop our Christmas gifts off for my nieces today. Oh, man, there's no mass going on. I found out my sister-in-law got diagnosed 3 weeks ago. She may have had it before, too. They don't know. The youngest girl had to stay home because they go to Catholic school, and somebody there got it. And so they court. So, and there are no masks rolling around when we got there. We stayed outside. But so, like, if my mom was coming to our house after that house, and then my brother who was in Mexico, I'd be like, yeah, Ma, you got to set up a chair in the garage. You can sit out there. But no, she's coming in. Yes, Christine says it's Archer near Harlem. That's exactly where it is. Roger asking, where's Weber's? Archer near Harlem. It's been there forever. And they make pretty good king cake, as a matter of fact.
Ooh.
Yeah, they make a nice king cake. Everything there. It's an old school bakery. I mean, they make bread, they make cakes, pies, everything you would want at a bakery. And their donuts are they've been written up, all over. They're not nothing fancy, but the chocolate, the fudge they use for their chocolate donuts is just mamacita.
I am going to miss my aunt and uncles. My aunt would make these cheesecake. I'll try and describe them. So they come in little cupcake, like tinfoil looking kind of cupcake things. Not a full cupcake, and it's like the little foil ones, little like, not tall, like an inch tall maybe, and a bunch of cheesecake in it, and then cherry pie filling on top. So good. So good. That and my grandmother used to make a lemon cake, and those are my two favorite desserts I've probably had tradition wise, like that's consistent. Like my parents would always get really great pies, but they kind of switched them up every year, but like those cheesecake squares, perfection.
My mom used to make this thing, and I've asked her if she has any recollection of where the recipe might be or what. And I'm sure I can find a recipe, but it would be the same. It was this creme de menthe and fudge ice cream thing. So it was like those chocolate wafers crumbled on the bottom, then a thick layer of fudge, and then ice cream with creme de menthe that was green. And it was, oh my God. And she'd make it in the big 9x13 pan. I'm telling you, I could go through an entire pan of that stuff.
That reminds me, a few years ago, my aunt, also of the cheesecake bite fame, would make grasshopper ice cream.
Oh, that's kind of what this was. Grasshopper, yeah.
That's what it reminded me of, yeah. And it had a little bit of a kick, and it was it's just really phenomenal. So,
yeah, it was. So that's, and I say, I'm like, do you? She remembers making it. She remembers it, but she's like, I have no idea where that recipe might be or whatever. But it was one of those things. And then for a number of years, I don't know what, my aunt was married, so he was my uncle at the time. And he was kind of a foodie. He was the first foodie that we really knew. And he would make this bouche Noel. And it was a huge production. He would bring all the elements to my mom and to our house, to my mom and dad's house. And then he would assemble it. He would have to, even though my mom was cooking this huge dinner for everybody in the family, he would have to commandeer a huge portion of the kitchen to create the bouche Noel. So he had made the chocolate cake, and then he had made whatever kind of cream was in it. And so he would assemble it and then roll it up. So it was like a log. And then he had to decorate it all and do a whole big thing for the bouche Noel. And it was like, and his kids were like, well, it's a creamy cake, whatever.
I was going to ask you something about, I was going to say, throw in the chat your favorite food tradition from Christmas or, whatever this time
let us
of year.
know.
I got to ask you a question about leaving town for the holidays.
Okay.
And people in the chat, hopefully you can help with this as well. We're leaving Christmas, we'll be gone a couple days, let's say. What do you do with the lights? Leave them on for 2 days?
No. Oh, the Christmas light, the outside lights?
Outside Christmas lights. Seems kind of wasteful to leave them on for
Aren't
2 days.
yours on timers?
No.
Oh, dude. First of all, that's your problem. Your Christmas lights have to be on some sort of timer. Either one of those. I've had both in my life. Right now, mine is on the dusk till the one that they turn on at dark and they stay on. You can set how long they'll stay on. So mine are on from dark for 7 hours. So that puts them off at about 11:30.
Yeah. I would have to get 2 timers, but I could do that.
You can do that. Listen, back at the old place, I had 2, I think I had 3 or 4 timers because I had outlets out front. I had outlets in the back. But yeah, you got to put them on a timer.
All right, let's get more time.
You got to. Listen. It's all right. It's a rookie mistake. This is your first year as a Christmas homeowner.
Well, timers are tricky. All right, so there's a landing at the top of our staircase, and there's no electrical outlets anywhere near it except for in this, like, basically, I don't even know how to explain it, but there's one outlet that we can use, but it's not like against the wall. You got to like open a panel in the wall to actually get to it. So I cut a hole in the panel and put a grate there, and I put a light bulb, one of those just light bulb socket adapters.
Yeah.
You just plug it in, screw in a light bulb, and that's it. And it's there, and I put a timer on that, so it will light up. So that way, if I go up or downstairs at night, I can see where the top step is. And
yes, that's a good idea.
But it's on a timer. The problem is that winter just moves so fast, right?
Yep.
Like I got it on the timer. It's like, great, it's dark. It turns on. Oh, wait, like a week later, now all of a sudden it's like dark for an hour and it's still not on. So like, I mean, I adjust it, but winter's annoying like that.
Winter's rough. When we used to go away back, I think in our first house and maybe even our second, I would buy those timers. The old school timers for like a couple of the lights in the house. And that would be, to keep the burglars away. Yank, whatever. My mom has a couple of those timers in her living room just so that she doesn't have to mess with the lamp. There are 2 lamps in the living room that she has on timers and they go on. And now she put some of the holiday stuff that we put out, she plugged into the timers too. So now she's like, it's fantastic. All I have to turn on is the tree. Everything else just comes on by itself. But yeah, you're going to be gone for a couple of days. You turn off the lights. You lock the door. You pray that don't leave any gift any boxes out by the curb, so people don't think you got a new TV or whatever. And then you go away. Or listen, you're going to have to do this anyway. You have a young family there. You got a young son. You got a young wife. One of these days, spring for a nice alarm system.
Maybe.
I never had one till now. I've got one now, and I can do it on the app. I can turn the alarm on and off by my app. It adds a level of security.
No,
or get a dog. I always Well, I always said we don't need an alarm. We had dogs. Dogs go crazy. But that won't help because I would imagine if you had a dog and you were going to your mom and dad's, you'd take the dog with you.
Yeah, we don't have pets. We don't have a single item in the house other than like maybe our like 65-inch TV or something, right? Like that has an individual item value of more than a couple $100. Like we just don't have any.
But nobody outside knows that.
Nobody outside knows that. Like if somebody breaks in, like they're not gonna get away with, like we're not gonna end up calling the cops the next day or filing like a $50,000 insurance claim. Like they'll get a couple trinkets. I don't even know. I literally don't even know what they would take. Like you look around the house,
they could trash the place. They get, young punks come in, they smoke their devil salad in there.
Right, they could do things to it, but like I don't know. What are the chances? Like I just live in a super peaceful, super low crime neighborhood.
Yeah, no,
it's not. It's
but
not. I think that it would instill an unnecessary sense of paranoia.
Perhaps because you're home all the time, and
I'm home 24/7.
Right.
We live a few blocks from a police station, or fire station's closer, but we're very close.
Yeah, you're fine. No, but for your Christmas lights, yeah, just either if you don't have, if you're not going to run out to, good luck going out tomorrow somewhere to try to find timers. They're gone. But next year get some timers. Then you don't have the best thing about the timers is you don't have to go out and plug stuff in and unplug it at the end of the night. That's the best part, because at the end of the night when you're ready to go to bed, you don't have to go, oh man, I got to go out and unplug the lights.
Well, we have a weird, really cool in certain ways setup. So our porch lights that shine so we have two different porch lights. On either side of our door, there's the two torches that are just like whatever. Yeah. That's a separate switch. The other switch controls 4 lights that just shine down on the front porch.
Okay.
They shine straight down, but they also are wired. That switch is wired to an electrical outlet on the overhang above the porch. So that's where we plug in the Christmas lights. We plug them in. They're plugged in directly in our overhang above the door. And that's where all the Christmas lights go out. So the problem with the lights all the time plan and the timer is that we would have to have that light switch on. Let's say that I put timers on the electrical outlets. Well, sure, that means that those two, all the Christmas lights plugged into those outlets will only turn on when the timer is on. But the 4 lights shining down onto the porch would still be on all day. Now, we could remove those because we don't really need them. But right now I have green and red lights to add a little bit of festive Christmas ambiance. So they provide like a red and green backdrop glow.
Ooh.
And the lights turn on. So the wiring is really weird. This is way too much information. I am so sleep deprived that I'm explaining the wiring in my house.
I enjoy the elaborate wiring conversation. So if you have a schematic that you could throw up on the screen, can you share a wiring schematic of your home?
Sally in the chat said, Cody, time for an electrician, worth every penny. So my qualm with that is, and you're right, they are worth every penny, but my brother-in-law, recently added to the family, happens to be like a master electrician, like the kind of guy that's doing wiring for like Google and Facebook, like facilities. Like he
wired Nakatomi Plaza, if I'm not.
He did, exactly. Yeah. Good reference, Christmas movie reference right there. But it'd be dumb to not, like, once COVID's over, I presume I'll invite him and my sister over for like barbecues, and then I'll be like, hey, how do I do this? And then he'll just like tell me what 3 things, like he's taught my sister how to do like 80 wiring things. Like it's crazy. So I'm like, I don't want to spring on it, like, because I'm going to end up paying way more than I would if I just like consult an expert that happens to be related to me now.
And there might be some jobs that there's certain things, like certain electrical things that I'm comfortable doing, a lot that I'm not. Same with plumbing, because that's why these people have dedicated their lives to mastering this. But whether it's your brother-in-law might know somebody who will pick up a side job for friends and family, and then you're paying you're paying somebody, but you're paying them a lot less, and you're still getting really good work. You know?
True. Yeah, I'm comfortable with certain electric things. Tasers,
Right.
I'd imagine.
Some weird toys for the boudoir.
There's some weird electric toys.
Sure.
Don't ask me how I know about them, but I read articles.
Well, and your robot butler, you have to rewire him.
There's him, Jarvis.
Sure. Yeah, Jarvis is coming. It's weird that you mentioned Jarvis because now I've started to see the WandaVision commercials, the promos for WandaVision coming on Disney Plus.
What's WandaVision?
WandaVision is the Scarlet Witch and Vision, who is part Jarvis. And they're doing it's an odd looking little mishmash of, is it a 50s sitcom? Is it something else? I can't wait to see WandaVision.
That sounds almost cool, but on January 4th, everyone has to cancel Disney Plus because they're going to be getting Discovery Plus, all of your favorite brands, more than 50,000 shows available on demand, including exclusive partnerships with the BBC, Planet Earth, all your favorites from HGTV, Animal Planet, Food Network, Cooking Channel, all in one place on Discovery Plus.
Wow. And you're not saying that just because you are the host of Curiosity Daily Podcast, part of the Discovery family of brands, are you?
I am saying that specifically because I work for Discovery.
Well, that makes sense. Listen, I'm not opposed to taking some swipes at Disney Plus because I over the last few days I have decided, and this may excite you. I wish Roger was still here to hear this. I started watching The Mandalorian.
Everyone's talking about this.
Yes, and that's what everybody was talking about. It. Everybody was talking about the second season finale, blah, blah, blah. And I said to Debbie, I've heard this is pretty good. And she's like, yeah, I've heard it's pretty good too. So together we watched the first episode. And she was like, I'm out. I was like, oh, all right. Well, I'm now at episode 7 of the first season, and I'm enjoying it on its own because it's kind of like a Western. It's basically this bounty hunter who is sent out to capture somebody. He doesn't know who it is. It turns out to be a kid. And then it's like, why do they want this kid? And he goes against everybody. And now it's him trying to protect this kid against all these different elements that are coming after the kid. So it's kind of cool. But Disney Plus, every episode, it's buffering like 3 and 4 times. Sometimes freezing up altogether. And it's the only streaming service that I have that does that. So I'm not happy.
Have you watched any of The Simpsons on there?
I have not. They're not on, aren't they on, are they on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
I have to look. I don't think they are.
Yeah, they are. Simpsons, Disney Plus. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, watch The Simpsons, Disney Plus. That's right.
Okay. No, I haven't.
Yeah, right.
Watched a couple Marvel movies on Disney Plus, but
okay, yeah. All right.
And the other night we watched Santa Claus and Santa Claus 2, Cody. Because we're holiday as hell over here.
That's a lot of clauses. Did you have a lawyer look that over first?
I did. It was a lot of Tim Allen. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of Tim Allen.
When I was visiting my friend in Madison around Halloween, we watched some episodes of the Halloween House of Horror, whatever the Simpsons Halloween special is. The
Treehouse of Horror.
Treehouse of Horrors, right? They forced the 16:9 aspect ratio.
Really?
Zooming in to every shot. It is the worst thing I have ever seen. It is unwatchable. It is unwatchably bad. It's painful. It is an affront to everything the original creators made. It is an affront to anyone with any sense of, like, Brian, you work in showbiz. You and I both studied broadcasting in school, right? You know basic things like the rule of thirds, right? Like our eye levels should be about where they are. Yours could be a little higher in your frame, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah.
It's close enough, right? That's the idea is there's conventions in film and cinema and television and like this. These are followed so that things look good, and then they like So if you have a shot, like you have a picture, like you draw the picture to look good. When you just zoom in and you cut out 30% of the picture in every frame, you're ruining everything. Like it would be like, what are you doing? It's so bad. It's so bad. It hurts to watch. It is so bad. Don't watch this. Like they ruined it. They ruined The Simpsons. Someone told me, well, now they give you the option of watching the original aspect ratio. Great. But do not watch it in 16:9. It is awful. It is so awful. Like if there's a wide shot of the family, it just like, it'll show like Lisa's head, like will cut off. You only see her head like above her eyes, and like Marge's hair, like her forehead will be cut off. So like at the top of the family, you've got Marge's forehead cut off. You've got Lisa, you can't even see. Bart, you only see the top half of his head. It's like this originally was a picture of a family,
right?
Cut it out. It's so bad.
Wow.
I like this is The Simpsons. This is The Simpsons aspect ratio. Hi, Marge, I'm home. My name is Homer Simpson. This is what the shot looks like. I'm not even exaggerating.
I think you're exaggerating.
Dude, if you got Disney Plus for someone for Christmas, or if you get it for Christmas, tell them not to watch The Simpsons or you'll ruin Christmas. Santa will actually come to your house and take back the other presents if you end up watching The Simpsons in 16:9 and Disney Plus.
Wow. That's harsh. There's a lot going on there. All right. I haven't watched it. I will, if I do, I will make sure I don't watch it in 16:9 then.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to do that. We just won't. Wow.
You know, a movie I watched yesterday.
What?
I watched it for reasons I won't really get into. I'm working on like a fundraiser with some people, and we were going to research this event, but I watched Balto.
That's the animated dog movie, right?
Yeah, well, it's the first half of it. We're going to watch the second half probably tomorrow. It's not a Christmas movie, but it takes place in Alaska, so there's a lot of snow. So, okay.
All right, that works.
You know anything about Balto?
It's based on a true story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's as much as I know. It's a dog. It's animated, and it's based on a true story.
There's a statue of Balto in Central Park.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where did
He was like the most famous dog in the world.
What did he do? He did something. What did he do that got him a statue?
So there was this town in Alaska, Nome, Nome, not like David the Gnome.
Right. Nome, Alaska is a pretty big city in Alaska.
Is it now?
Yeah.
I think it was smaller at the time, but I'm not sure.
Perhaps.
It was 1920.
It's one of the known cities. Anchorage, Nome.
Nome was known.
Yes.
Anyway, there was a diphtheria outbreak in 1925. Diphtheria being real bad, mostly affecting children.
Yeah.
With like 100% mortality rate. Like it was gonna kill like everyone, and it's super contagious. Like just picture like invert coronavirus's like death rates and like multiply its contagiousness, and like that, it's bad, dude. So anyway, they had all these medical supplies, but they didn't get enough of the diphtheria serum or whatever. So they're like, uh-oh. Well, the nearest train station was 700 miles away. So they got, and there's like, you know, it's like whatever. It was very cold season where it's just blizzards all the time. Like you hold your hand in front of your face, you can't see it. And they were like, the only way, like we can't sail a ship because like the water's too messed up. We can't fly a plane because the planes won't work. The only way to get this is with sled dogs, because sled dogs are insanely fast.
Yeah.
They
have one job and they do it.
Dude, they do it. So they set up like a 20 sled dog rake relay, basically. So each runner would get like, 50 miles or something. And they just did this thing real fast. And they traveled almost 700 miles in 5.5 days by sled dog. And Balto got all this fame because he was, so apparently a big thing with sled dogs is like a good sled dog driver knows when to relinquish control to the dog. Because if conditions are really messed up, like they'll be like, dude, the dog knows what the dog is doing. I am no longer useful. You do it. Yeah. And the driver insisted. He was like, Balto's the only reason we cleared this run. he was the last leg of the run, and he ended up doing like double what he was supposed to do because one of the other relay people wasn't ready, but Balto got him through, and then he got all this fame. Mike in the chat pointing out he stole the credit from Togo. This is not mentioned in the movie whatsoever, but an earlier part of the relay, like Balto's gonna get a lot of fame because he does the last leg, right? He like rides into the city like the big hero.
Oh, sure, he's the guy. He's the big dog.
Exactly, but he wasn't like really known as a sled racing dog, right? Togo was the dog. Togo was top dog. His driver won like $10,000 competitions every year. This was a guy that just like raised and bred these dogs and raced them, and that was his whole life. And he built up all these dogs, and Togo was this like total badass dog that could just do it all. And their leg of the race was something like 200 some miles. It was just just an outrageous amount of the thing. And so he does all this stuff, and then at the end of the day, the media like just picks up on Balto, and Togo's sled driver is just like, what is happening?
Why? What about my dog? Something for the effort.
What's going on? So I think there's another movie about Togo that I may watch also, but crazy stuff in the 1920s, man, in Alaska.
Wow. That's very cool. All right. Well, now I know. I had heard that there was a statue in Central Park. I knew of the movie. Sounds like something I would enjoy. But now I don't know. Mike pointing out the controversy that might add a little something to it for me. I like a good rivalry between Balto and Togo. Sounds exciting.
Well, the animated film really has nothing whatsoever to do with the actual like he's like a stray dog, and he like falls in love with another dog, and then like there's he doesn't even look like Balto has an iconic. He was like mostly black, but he had his paws were white, and one was kind of like a long sock, and one was short. It's a cute dog.
Yeah.
But like in the movie, he's just brown. He's just a brown. But his best friend is a Russian goose voiced by Bob Hoskins. With a very bad Russian accent.
Wow.
Oh, it's a really, really bad. And I'm like, why is Bob Hoskins a Russian goose?
Because Bob Hoskins needed a check. That's why. Because Bobby needed a payday. So are you all done with your have you done any shopping other than virtual, other than online?
No, I might pick some up tomorrow though. But I'm pretty much covered.
Yeah, be careful. It's crazy out there, as you can imagine. Like I tried to get everything done so that I wouldn't have to go to a store tomorrow after my big bakery run at 7:00. Because what's today? Today's Wednesday, so this was Monday. I'm at Sam's, and I'm just about to go into one of the lines, and it was crazy because it seemed, first of all, while I applaud the self-checkout line, there needs to be some sort of either IQ test or item limit to use the self-checkout line, because a number of people who want to check out from the self-checkout line not only have completely full carts, but it seems they've never used any sort of technology before, and they're baffled. And they don't know, so it takes forever. But as I'm about to approach the line, I hear some woman's voice screaming at the top of her lungs, "Call me a bitch again! Call me a bitch again!"
What?
And I look and I see this woman screaming and flailing about at this guy in the next line. And he's not looking at her. He's not paying, he's not acknowledging her. And she just keeps screaming this over and over again. "Call me a bitch again." And all of a sudden I hear something over the speaker. I hear other people shouting. A couple people from Sam's come over and they're trying to escort this woman toward the front door, and she's still screaming. And it was insanity. So I don't know. I'm guessing what happened. I assume at some point he called her a bitch. I don't know why. I don't know what brought it on, other than the stress of holiday shopping and the fact that everybody at Sam's is looking at those self-checkouts for the very first time and going, yeah, I think I'll do it. Oh, and then having to call somebody over because, well, this didn't ring up. Oh, okay. And I literally had 2 items. 2 items. I just wanted to get out.
Was there not like a regular checkout lane?
Those lines were, I ended up going to one of those. But those lines when I first got in line were really long, and I got in a line behind one other person. But it was just insanity. And I had vowed that I didn't want, the closer we got to Christmas, I didn't want to be at the store. And yet today this afternoon I had to go to Mariano's to pick up my beef tenderloin roast for Christmas night. So I had to go, but that was easy because there were surprisingly not a big crowd at this Mariano's where I'd ordered the meat. And I got in and out, no problem. And then Molly had come with me because I knew as we got to the mall to pick up the Cinnabons, I wouldn't be able to park. So Molly was there. She jumped out. I circled. She got the Cinnabons, got in. We got in and out. That was fine. And I don't know if anybody was called a bitch inside the mall or not, but that's really not my concern.
Yeah, I don't even like when I lived in the city, I didn't even like leaving my house the week before Christmas because everyone was gonna kill you.
Yes.
People blowing stop signs, blowing traffic lights, just like right turning when you're not it was dangerous to walk around Lincoln Park.
Yeah. Everybody is on edge. You know, the happiest time of the year makes people miserable.
Yeah.
And I was surprisingly not calm, but not as livid on the drive today because we had to drive out to LaGrange to my brother's house. Then we came back and we had to make a couple stops and I had to go and traffic was awful everywhere. And again, just like with the self-checkout lines, if you've never driven before, this is not the time to start driving. Stay home. A lot of places are delivering. I don't mind the delivery people out. They're working hard. But if you're checking your list on your phone and not paying attention to driving, I really have no use for you. So, is something coming off your ceiling?
No, I was just looking at some stuff. Cool.
Was my story boring you? So you had to look up.
No, I get there's the lights are falling off the wall in my studio, and I was like worried something was gonna fall on me, but nothing's on me. We're good.
What do you have them? What are they held up with?
A lot of tape, adhesive backing, but it's complicated. You gotta see it. I'll finish it, and then you can come see it in 2024 when we're all vaccinated.
2024. I'm looking forward to coming to your house. Looking forward to being at your son's 8th grade graduation. First time I meet him, it'll be fun. Again, the card was really good. Before we go, we had promised people. Well, because it's getting late, and you've been up since the crack of.
Oh God, it is 10.
It's 10 o'clock, and we try to keep this at the time. But we talked about the eggnog, and your recipe for eggnog is much different than mine. Mine, I said, I just pour as much brandy as I think looks good, maybe 2 fingers, 2.5, 3 fingers of brandy, and then I pour the eggnog on top of it. You do it a little differently.
Something like that. It's pretty much 2 fingers of brandy, and then you put the nog on top of it. You gotta adapt to the nog, though, right? Like you do the 2 full fingers if it's Oberweis. But if it's not Oberweis, you might want to cut back on the brandy a little bit.
Oh, because the nog is not as thick.
Because the nog's not as thick or, creamy and just delicious. But then you stir it up. You stir it up with a spoon. Or whatever. You do that. Then get some whipped cream. Get a little whipped cream on there. And you got to dust the nutmeg. You take the nutmeg, you just tap, 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 tap. Get a little light dusting on there. Because you eat with your eyes. And dude,
right? I'm doing it. I've been doing it wrong all these years.
Nah, gotta have the whipped cream. I really strongly recommend the extra cream. Hold on, Ready Whipped is a
there's an extra creamy. I actually, so following your recommendation, I bought yesterday a can of whipped cream in case Debbie or Molly want to up the game a little bit. And I got it because, Molly with hot chocolate and us with the eggnog, if we may throw a little whipped cream on the nog.
Got to be the double, the extra creamy. Extra creamy is it doesn't have to be, but I strongly recommend that.
Well, you got that kind of money. You can throw around the extra $1 for the extra creamy. You know?
I? No.
I don't know. You're a man who's building bass traps and leaving your lights on nonstop because you don't want to pay for a timer.
Yeah, I'm
big
building bass traps because I can't afford to buy bass traps.
Is Santa going to bring anything for you this year, Cody? What do you think Santa's going to bring you?
I don't know. I asked for some tools so I can build more bass traps. Yeah,
that's a good Christmas gift for a new homeowner.
I think so. Which, nothing video game or entertainment related. Just some stuff around the house. I'm all about the house now. So it's good.
But the first year I was a homeowner, that's my mom and dad for Christmas gave me like a circular saw and a saber saw and all that kind of stuff, which I still have and use to this day.
Nice. What do you want this year?
The same thing I want every year, is to be left alone. I want a piece of quiet. I ask every year for a piece of quiet, and no one ever gives me a piece of quiet. I honest to God, and this drives Debbie and Molly crazy. There's really nothing I want.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to give them gifts. I don't need anything, but all right. So my mom told Debbie and Molly because we were all supposed to go on that cruise, and the cruise got canceled. So my mom got all this money back, and I guess she decided she was going to do something special for my brothers and I for Christmas this year. So, and she's always very generous with the grandkids, and she's very generous to her daughters-in-law, and always has been generous to us too. But she also knows my penchant for not liking receiving gifts. We're not going to go into a whole therapy session, but there's a lot of underlying reasons why I don't like getting gifts. But so I guess there's something coming tomorrow that is, I don't know. In January when we reconvene, I will tell you what it was. But Debbie and Molly know, and they've already chastised me and warned me that, listen, Debbie said, listen, your mom got you something really nice for Christmas. And you're going to smile, and you're going to say thank you, and you're going to be grateful. And you're not going to tell her that she shouldn't have spent that money, and you're not going to be a jerk. You're just going to be nice. And she got all this money back, and so you and your brothers are all getting something. Everybody's getting something different, but everybody's getting something like above and beyond this year, because she feels like she came into money. Whereas me, if I got all that money back, I'd put it away. But that's me, whatever. So I have to be on edge. So I may have to start tomorrow with Irish coffee and chocolate donuts rather than just or Bailey's and coffee with my chocolate donuts. Just so Molly goes, listen, you're an actor. Act. Just pretend play a part. Say the lines, smile, shut up, and then so grandma is happy. All right, I'll do it. So grandma's happy.
I really hope it's a motorcycle.
I doubt it'll be a motorcycle. I'm trying to figure out what it could possibly be. I don't have any idea. I'm trying to think, because she had said something about, she always asked me, well, what does Debbie want? And I always say, there's nothing, Ma, and she said, well, I'm doing the same for all the daughters-in-law. They're getting a check. And I said, well, that'll be very nice. I'm sure she's going to appreciate that. I said, I think we're going to invest in a laptop or something. I said, she'll make sure she puts that gift to good use. So I don't know I don't know. Here's the only thing that I really want. I'm going to be honest with you. The only thing I want is a recliner to replace my old recliner.
The big chair.
The big chair. If I could get another big chair, you know how happy I was with the big chair.
Yeah.
I loved the big chair. The big chair did not make the move because it had been, after 15 years, the big chair had been kind of destroyed. And then because my butt had thinned out the fabric, and then the dogs had jumped on there and they'd poked some holes. So for the last year of the big chair, I had a towel over the seat, looking like I was some incontinent old man, that I had to make sure I had absorbent towels under my ass when I sat down. So the only thing I really would want is another big chair. but I don't really know if we have room for a big chair or even a
Mhm.
medium chair. But honest to God, that's the only thing I would want.
This is the
Because then
first
I would
year
have.
I've known you for a
Wow.
long time, more than 10 years. This is the
Yes.
first year I have known exactly what to get you.
Big chair?
No,
Oh.
I got you exactly the right. So if you get it in the next week, then you can open it on next week's quarantine cast.
Well, are we? That's what I wanted to ask you. Are we gonna do next week, or are we gonna take a week off between the holidays? I'm good with doing next week.
Probably good with doing. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's do it.
Well, we gotta check with Craig because Craig might be visiting me.
Right. Oh, that
Yeah.
would be fun.
Yeah,
If he was YouTube.
I don't have a 2 mic setup though.
Well, you could sit in your garage on his laptop,
He could sit in my garage on his laptop,
or he could sit next to you on his laptop. But
that'd be weird. I don't know.
that would be weird.
Well, all right. We'll
Well, let's do it.
figure
We'll
out
talk about it, but we can talk about it the next time.
yeah.
Or we can figure it out for the next time. So it I don't know what you could have picked out. I never expect presents. I am grateful that people I'm trying to come to terms with Alex saying do the show with an exclamation point. All right, easy, Alex. People take vacation. What can I tell you? There's a good chance we will. I'm going to be on, for those of you who are asking, which is nobody, I'm going to be on TMJ all next week from noon to 3. So you can listen to WTMJ. I'll post on the Facebook page and do that. And we will, Sandy, I hope you are on next. We'll be doing this next year. Of course we will. We're not, until Cody and Craig say that they're too busy, and then, maybe Molly will jump on. But I think I enjoy doing this with Cody and Craig. And I hope they feel the same way. It is a lot. Do you guys have somewhere else to be next Wednesday? I don't know, Marta. Wow. I guess we should have had this conversation off the air because now we're getting people all revved up. All right. We'll plan on unless there's unforeseen circumstances, we'll plan on being here next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I said, I got it. We got it. I'm rendezvousing with Sir Craigley next week for some business matters.
I was wondering. I asked him because I thought there was a chance he was going to come up here this week.
He was going to be this week, and then we bumped it to next week because of just various stuff. Yeah, what plan has actually gone according to plan since COVID started? Really,
absolutely nothing.
Actually, I texted my brother earlier tonight. Who has not been appraised of my family's Christmas plans and entirely. And I was just like, well, everything kind of changes every day. So
I'm sorry to interrupt. Your father is wishing me a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, Mr. Gough, and to the rest of the Gough family. I hold your son in high regard. Don't tell him. All right. Sorry. So your brother. So for some reason, your family is keeping your Christmas plans from your brother. Well, they don't want him involved. Is that what I'm hearing?
No. What I told him was, this was I don't remember. It was recently, but I was just like, stuff always changes. You never know. You never know. I remember I called my folks a week before Thanksgiving, and it was like, you guys are coming for Thanksgiving, full stop. And then 2 days later, they're like, JK, we got COVID. And it was like, oh my God, so it's like that clear, it was that was the one time I was like, we're just going to nail this down now. Let's lock in a plan, and then it's like, okay, all right. So I'm not doing that again. All right. So we will maybe be here next week. Cause if I say we'll be here next week, no matter what, all of us will get COVID. So
right. That's why I said, unless, barring unforeseen circumstances and knowing that we are in the time of pandemic, and knowing that all three of us might just flake. Forget it.
You'll keep people posted on the Facebook.
We always keep you posted. So listen, in all seriousness, I wish you and Casey and Baby Gough the merriest of Christmases. Please tell your family. Your mom and dad are watching, so your mom and dad know. Tell everybody else that I wish them the same. Thank you to everybody who's spent another year with us, whether it was on the air or here or listening to the podcast on one of the many podcast platforms. I appreciate your support and you hanging around with us. I'm sure Cody does too. I'll let him I'll let him speak for himself. But thank you for that. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you have somebody or someone to at least talk to on Christmas. It's going to be weird. Everybody is scattered this year, but we'll make it through. And by next Christmas, Lord willing, things will be back where we can be with whoever we want to be with, and we can sit around and drink nog or whatever we're going to drink, and just have a good time. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Cody, I'll let you say your piece if you have something to say. Not I'll let you, but it's your turn. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Merry Christmas to everybody, and this is a good time of year to kind of reconnect with people. Like I know that COVID hit, and not only did we stop seeing people, but sometimes you just kind of shut down and stopped talking to those people. If you got your friends that you'd hang out with, and you can't hang out anymore, so maybe you stop talking to them. Now's a good chance to just chat with them. I haven't talked to my aunt and uncle all year. They always host Christmas Eve. On the way into, when we're driving tomorrow, I'm going to give them a call and just say hey, I didn't talk to you this year, but we miss you on Christmas Eve, and, wish we could be around. I sent out a lot of Christmas cards, and I added, you got one obviously, but
it was lovely.
I added lots of friends and family to the list that I haven't talked to this year. And I put in the card, I was like, look, we didn't talk as much as we wanted to this year, but it's been tough. So, but next year we're all going to get together and drink a lot of alcohol, and it'll be really fun. So we'll be able to give people hugs or handshakes or, whatever. And, in normal times, I wouldn't have waited 3 months to meet your son, Have you met him yet?
No.
Yeah.
No. I have not.
No, I'm dying. I gotta.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. He's adorable, and I can't wait. And but I also am, I know your pediatrician. I know your pediatrician is telling you to let him, lick people's faces and have people cough on them and stuff. But I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the outbreak monkey that suddenly I'm the guy who gets infants sick. Nobody else can make an infant sick, and then patient 0 walks in. Hey, how's it going? Oh my God, what happened to the baby?
Yeah, nobody likes outbreak monkeys. But
nobody likes outbreak monkeys.
All I'm saying is to echo Brian's sentiment. I hope you have friends and family to spend time with, but even if you don't, or you don't think you do, just reach out to some people. Everybody likes hearing from people these days. Everybody. If anyone calls my phone and I recognize the name, I will immediately answer. Someone actually did call me a couple weeks ago, and I had not talked to this person in forever, and I just picked up and I was like, hey, what's going on? I literally don't even remember who it was, but it happened. I bet, maybe.
And even if it didn't, it's a great holiday story.
Was it a dream? Now I gotta check my call history. Now I'm maybe I'm just thinking of Craig. Maybe I'm just thinking Craig called me. No.
That could be
my buddy. I won one of the BCS lotteries at a place, and I called my friend up in the city to pick it up. And I hadn't called him in 6 months. And he answered on the second ring. He's like, what's up, man? Because he's just sitting in his apartment doing nothing. He's bored out of his mind. So anyway, it just tis the seeds, love everyone, love and joy, and holly and jolly and all that. Because in January, no one's going to want to talk to anybody.
No.
It's January.
Well, because we're all going to have that $600 to blow. We're going to be looking for ways to spend that $600. I don't want to end on a bad note.
Right, I blinked. It's gone. It's
it's all over. But listen, I'm looking forward to seeing you in person in the new year. Have a great Christmas, Cody. I mean that sincerely. And we'll talk to everybody. We're planning on talking to you next week. So until then, Merry Christmas. Be safe. Be happy. Wear a mask. Remember, this isn't over, but it will be over very soon. And next Christmas, we'll all get together. We'll set something on fire and we'll sing Christmas carols, just like crazy people in Los Angeles are doing without masks. And then next year we won't care if we're not wearing masks. It'll be a lot of fun.
Or pants.
Who's wearing pants now? Merry Christmas. Jingle all the way. Let's just say that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for commenting. Merry Christmas. We will talk to you. We'll talk to you next week. Bye. Bye, Cody. Merry Christmas.